Hey, beautiful people. I'm Milah.
Hey y'all, I'm Monika.
And thanks for joining us.
Hello, how are you doing, sis?
Hey, I am aligned and balanced.
Okay, so that means it's time to get this thing started. I'm really excited about our conversation today. I know that we are dealing with health. I mean, kind of in the spirit of Juneteenth, we're still feeling a lot of love for our people and for the community. So, family, uncles, nephews, cousins, and everybody, this is definitely one to not miss because we are going to do some reminders. We like to think about health, and we definitely are going to be talking about some health things, some reminders, some things that might make you go, hmm. So definitely stick with us, a lot of laughs. But before we can get into the good stuff, I got to ask you, how was your week?
My week has been my week's been good. I finished out my program and
Congratulations.
yes, and then also Friday. No, that was Saturday. I'm trying to remember, girl. The days
Mhm,
we learned together. Saturday, I went to see and support my friend Angelica Barksdale in the Rent
mhm.
play.
Okay.
It's at the Renton Civic Theater in downtown Renton, and she played the character Joanne from the Broadway play Rent,
Mhm.
and she did an amazing job. I was just sitting there. I'm like, I'm gonna remember the time when I was sitting here at this little theater. You know what I'm saying? Like years from now, she'd be winning awards because I already saw it. I was just like, it's just the beginning. So I'm proud of her, and she was
Okay.
just, yeah, she was a joy to see. So
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, we know that between the two of us, we have to have the auntie that is on the scene and outside, and it is definitely you. So, shout out to Rent. I know you. I knew what Rent was going to be about, but I'm happy that you got that you went and you didn't have any kind of preconceived notion. You just sat down and you had your minds blown. So that was
right,
good, and it was perfect for this time of the month because it's also Pride. So
exactly.
so lots of good stuff. Hmm.
And then I also went to Sunday uh pre-celebration, I guess, for Juneteenth, songs for Black folks.
Hmm.
And this was their second annual. They're gonna
Okay.
have a third one. It was at the Paramount in Seattle. It
Hmm.
was a very nice event. The music was, I want to say spectacular. It sounds so generic, but no, I really enjoyed the music because they had a whole orchestra there.
Oh, okay.
They had the choir there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
They
so you got a
had
little bit of the spirit. Did you want to jump up?
they had prominent singers like Crystal Aiken and
Hmm.
Josephine Howe and many more.
Hmm.
And it was worth it. I definitely will take my family next year and my nephew. But it's just, the piano too, because I used to play piano back in the day. So it was really, really, really nice.
Okay. All right. Did you recognize any of the songs? Did you kind of sing along from your seat?
Yeah, I sure did
Okay.
recognize some songs. Yep.
Okay. Well, I love it because I know that some things we can look forward to seeing pictures and video on our Instagram page, Auntie Season at Instagram. So that is what's up. I hope you guys are following us on social media because if not, you are missing out on uplifted, being enlightened, and seeing whatever
Laughing.
shenanigans, yeah, whatever shenanigans we're going to be about. So that's the important part. So if I my week and how my week was, well, my week was always eventful because I feel like I'm always learning and growing, and I'm still pressing for the prize. So, no complaints from this side, but I definitely um, was surprised, I'll say, at
Hmm.
some of the stories that were coming out. But what I loved, kind of shout out to Juneteenth. Of course, we had our whole episode last week where we were talking about aliens and the spirit of Juneteenth, but I really loved seeing everybody in action. There were a couple of concerts, of course, that were telecast or broadcast on television and social media. But one of the best clips that I saw from Juneteenth was a block party. Ebony Magazine posted it on their Instagram page. It was a block party in Brooklyn, New York. And I mean, man, the family was all out there. Everybody was looking good. I mean, oh man, the eye candy, man. The brothers was out there. Mm,
Everybody in their uniqueness. That's why I love New York, because people
hmm
just do what they want to do and be who they want to be. Like,
Oh yeah, it was all melanated, just different hues of brand. Oh, it was just beautiful, and people were having a good time, and supporters. The thing is, uh, we don't really turn people away from the cookout. You know,
right,
that's not what our people do. So it was just a fun time. I mean, it looked like a heck of a block party. And you know, I'm not one to like all those kind of shenanigans in this post pandemic world. You know me, I am someone who believes in a good mask, but for that Brooklyn block party on Juneteenth, I might have had to take off my mask for a moment or two and get real cute, but it looked great. So, my takeaway for the week was I love us. And there's nothing like joy. Joy looks good on everybody. So try to get you some. If you don't know anything to be happy about, check your Rolodex. You're still alive. So, you
right,
know,
and stay in the present. Stop looking at the past and stop stressing about the future.
yeah, amen, girl. I like that. And that is perfect because we are discussing health today, you know, and so don't turn away. Don't think it's not going to be fun because we might be reminding you of some things you didn't know. What started this conversation for us was seeing the most recent headlines, one featuring Tori Bowie, and then Deion Sanders. So both of those got Monika and I really to discussing and thinking about it and kind of saying we haven't had an episode that has focused on health. Uh, I don't think we did one last month. So in a couple of months, and we still care about ourselves and of course about the family. So
Right,
let's get into it. Mhm.
and it's Men's Health Month also.
Yeah, of course, of course. So,
Hmm.
you know what? We can start with Tori Bowie, because she, you know, she's the quick female runoff, and then of course we're gonna get into these fellas. You know, we got to look out
These
for
brothers.
yeah our people. So, um,
Uh,
Tori Bowie was an Olympian for anyone who is not familiar with the story, and she passed away a few months ago. And there were a lot. And to me, her story means a lot to me because also she was vilified very quickly. And then when the truth, the autopsy, and when everyone really figured out what happened, then it's
mhm.
like, oh, wait, okay, that's a whole nother thing. But they are quick to throw a sister under the bus. So that is why we definitely always have a lot of love for each other on this podcast because the world might not be giving us the love, but your family, your friends, your support system should be giving you some love. So Tori passed away, unfortunately, from complications during a labor. She was only 8 months pregnant, so it was kind of an unexpected labor. They think she had preeclampsia,
Oh wow.
had developed that, and she died alone. Someone did a welfare check, or her family and her friends, her loved ones were saying we haven't heard from her in a
Hmm.
few days, and then they went and they found her deceased. You know, and so of course the rumors, people always got to talk. You know, they were trashing the sister real hard, and then you know the preeclampsia came out. So Monika, are you familiar with preeclampsia at all, or what were your thoughts on what happened?
No, I'm familiar with preeclampsia. If I've had people who've had to deal with that before, and it's just sad overall. And I'm like, first of all, why was she by herself, like 8 months pregnant? And I just don't understand why nobody was with her. I don't understand that that part. Like, somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody should
Mm-hmm.
have been there in the morning or in the after, the evening, especially if her husband was out of town on business. She shouldn't have been by herself. Period.
Okay, and I want to make sure I've said eclampsia. I'm sorry, you know, I don't want to be here misquoting what the thing is called. I'm sorry because I hear people call it preeclampsia, but I guess it's called eclampsia. I want to make sure that I got that right. That was her cause of death was
Hmm.
eclampsia, respiratory distress, and high blood pressure. And then her child was apparently stillborn. And then at the time of her passing, she was only 96 pounds, which that was what really got people kind of talking before they knew exactly what was the cause of her death, because I guess it was 32 pounds below her competition weight. So everyone was like, she's pregnant, and was she doing this? Was she doing that? Was she suicide? There was just a lot going on about the sister. But we do know that there is an epidemic, high mortality rates, which don't even feel like they should be rates that are happening in the United States
Right.
for Black women in childbirth. It's not a joke. I mean, we've had celebrities like Serena Williams and different people speak out on, not being heard, having to express frustration, and that being the thing that saved their life. Because literally, Serena Williams did have some issues after she had her first child, and
Right.
and almost was lost.
And that's why it's important to have an advocate. And also, besides your main OBGYN or physician, I would also suggest having a doula.
Hmm.
I know a few of them. Actually, my sister had one. So, because if she had a doula and she was at the doula, that would have been someone assisting her or checking on her with her. It's sad overall. It shouldn't have happened, but
Hmm. But yeah, that's something that we can pay attention to. So if you have a pregnant loved one, or if you're pregnant, you're getting pregnant, be sure to. It doesn't hurt. See, sometimes I think we get in our heads like, you know what, I'm just going to trust the doctor, or I don't want to seem like I'm being annoying. It's your health, it's your life. We have one of those on earth. So it doesn't hurt. You're not going to offend anyone. And if they're
and that doesn't hurt.
offended,
It's your
yeah,
right. That's what they get
yeah.
paid for. The hell.
You ask those questions. So I was
And
like,
if you don't
for
like that doctor, go get another one. Fire that one and go get another one. I'm sorry.
yeah, even if you're like, well, no, I belong to this health group, there are other doctors in that health group.
Girl, you
Sometimes you
better
have to find the
invest
one.
invest in your health. If you got to pay out of pocket, then you got to do what you do. People
Hmm.
pay out of pocket for other shenanigans. I
Yeah, no, and I know, Monika, you really do talk about that. You're like, you can invest in yourself. You're like, if you can go on this trip, or you can get this new designer bag, you could definitely put something into yourself, because as we do believe, health is wealth. So yeah, so that was it. So definitely rest in paradise with you and your baby, Tori. And you left an impact, because I was watching those Olympics when you took home the gold and the silver, but you also left an impact, because now we're going to still be talking about and loving on ourselves, and remembering that when we're pregnant, we matter as well. So
exactly.
that's the shout out about Tori. And then moving right along, because Deion Sanders, he stays controversial. He stays saying that uh, goes viral. But this one, when this story flashed across my news feed, I was like, what? They said Deion Sanders has the possibility of losing his left foot due to poor circulation. I said, no, wait, what? What's going on here? Had you heard about Deion, Monika, before I sent you the link and everything?
No, because I don't follow sports like that. So
Okay, that's all right. Well, for anyone that doesn't know, Deion Sanders, you know, prolific, famer football player, and now he's a coach. He really turned an HBCU team around. I believe it was Jackson State, into a team that got national coverage. Because the thing about sports is, there's different divisions, and a lot of times HBCUs don't get to compete or be spoken about at the things you see on like ESPN, or when they're talking about college football, they're not typically talking about ones that belong to HBCUs. And so when he was the coach for Jackson State, really got a lot of attention. They had a winning record, and now he is the new head coach for Colorado, because they had a terrible season last year. I believe it was like 1-12 or something ridiculous. So they only had one win, to however many losses they had. I don't love college football as much as I love the NFL, but moving right along with that. So Deion Sanders has already had 2 toes removed in 2021 due to poor circulation. Now,
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Monika, tell me about that. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm not in his household, so
Hmm.
I don't know what he's doing every day. I don't know what his lifestyle is. So I mean,
Well, and I'm glad you still stuck to your guns, because I was saying this one, he's a pretty healthy person from from all knowledge. I mean, he did play football, and your body is banged up. And I guess he was saying, I was reading online. I'm gonna, get out all the details so that it's factual. It was in, I guess, on CNN .com. They said at one time he had 9 surgeries, including 8 within a month on the left leg after developing blood clots that
Oh, hold
resulted.
up. How do they do 8 surgeries in a month? That doesn't seem, that don't sit well with me. That's
hmm
crazy.
Thank you. And having 2 toes removed as well, amputated in 2021.
His doctor
So,
ain't right.
and remember, he has access to, I mean, he money isn't an issue, and he is a sports player. He played for the NFL, so he's supposed to have access to the best doctors. So sometimes I do want to remind people that if you are having poor circulation, that, like your hands and your feet are tingling, and you think, oh,
That's
this is,
just some symptoms of other things.
yeah, symptoms of other things, or it could be a really serious thing, like you have a blood clot, you have poor circulation. In my case, I remember telling people that I had tingling in my hands and in
Mm-hmm.
my toes starting in my 20s. And throughout my 20s, it was often dismissed. And then I pulled my neck muscle really bad. I thought like really did something terrible, and I had to have an X-ray and then an MRI and scan and all the scans, all the tests, and they found out that I really was serious. What I was saying, I needed neck surgery because I had degeneration of my spine. So
Mm-hmm.
like the bone was kind of going away, and it was like, things were on top of things pressing down, causing that tingling.
On your
So
nerves. Yep.
on my nerves. So that's why I love that, yes, some things can be caused, can be changed and impacted by changing your diet and exercising and your lifestyle, but other things are going to require that you go in to see a medical professional. And even if you don't trust them, then you go with someone else, maybe someone else who loves you but is not you, so they have a different perspective, and maybe they'll remember to ask the question that you didn't ask, or have a scenario that you might be afraid to mention. But yeah, and I was very happy for it. I mean, I got my titanium ladder in my 30s, and my toes and my hands feel a lot better. None of the tingling, none of the things that were causing me distress that could have been bigger issues later on. So
So
that is my testimony.
you're like the bionic woman with the titanium.
Yeah, girl, I'm a titanium diva. You better know it. I said I was fully prepared to like have a hard time going through like the airport and different things, but no, the technology is amazing. It is good. I mean, the doctor who did my surgery actually was a neurosurgeon, so she was very hilarious because she said, "Oh, you can let the orthopedic person do it, but." Do they care about your nerves? Like she won me over because she was talking all of the right. She was talking to me
Mm-hmm.
strong and right. She said,
Right.
I do so many of these a week. You fine. It was a
Exactly.
Thursday. She had me in on Monday. Okay. Nah, boom, boom, bam. And I was very happy that I got it also while I was young, and your body can heal and recover very quickly.
Right.
Putting off things until you're old. So I know some old people from back in the day that always were waiting until like the year before they retire to go and do everything. I don't know. Do you know people like that, Monika?
Not surgery, but as far as like getting tests and stuff, I know
hmm
they, but yeah, I mean, I did that when I left my job. I was like, oh no, I'm about to get, y'all about to pay for all of this. I'm getting all the tests that I can get.
I mean, it makes sense, but I said don't wait till you're old and you're retiring, because you'll
No,
be in your late 60s or early 70s. At that point, that's too late to be trying to do all the surgery. Start knocking things off the list. I say every couple of years, say,
well,
okay, yeah, this is
that
surgery I
goes
need.
right. That goes into men's health because they are not going to their physical annuals. It's about 3 and 5 of them that,
Mm.
3 out of 5 that actually go to physical annuals. You know, so y'all need to get to the doctor at least once a year because I know most of y'all working, so most of y'all got insurance. And you need to use it.
hmm Okay, so that status for black men, right? You said 3 and 5 black men.
That's just men overall in
Oh,
general.
okay, okay. I just want to know. So,
Hmm.
and we know that right now, the information is out there, it exists, that in all of the rates, and this is wait, when Monika, we share information, and when she sent me this link, oh my goodness, and it was a reputable link too, and they were talking about the statistics for men, and kind of what our stats were. I was ready to faint. They said black men are like failing in all categories. I said, wait, what? I said there wasn't. I mean, they said they need to get checked. I said, Monika. I said, well, what are some of the things, because we're getting ready for the show and everything. What are some of the things that we need to be concerned about black men? Like, what
I
are
got a
some of the?
list.
Yeah,
I
that's
got a
what
list.
Monika said. Monika said everything, and they said, right now. Well, this is according to veryhealthy.com. They had a thing about healthy aging, health statistics for Black American men, and what they did say was that Black men have the lowest life expectancy and the highest death rate from specific causes compared to both men and women of other racial and ethnic groups. So,
Yeah, yeah, girl. I got. Let me just go over some of this stuff. So
hmm
generally, for men's health, this general. This isn't specific to Black. This is in general though. Men, 350,000 of y'all die of cardiovascular disease each year.
hmm
700,000 of you are diagnosed with cancer. 230,000 prostate cancer, and 60% of y'all are overweight or obese. Now, for Black men, as
hmm
far as what's on the top list, your mental health, prostate cancer, high blood pressure, stroke, diabetes, STDs, HIV, suicide, and homicides.
okay, so those are the things that brothers in America take note of. Take note of, because I think for a minute there, Monica, men were, rest in peace, Chadwick. But when he passed away, of course, the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, it caused everyone to stop for a minute and think, wow, he was only like 43. He was young. They were like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we do need to go get that health screening, because for colon and things like that,
Right.
blacks in America are actually encouraged to get it done before the national rate of 45. I believe
Mm-hmm.
they want us in there of like 43, 45, and everyone else I think can kind of play around to 48.
Right.
But it is serious, because you see he was young, and so no one naturally assumes that young people can suffer some of these things. They think, oh, it's just for old, or it's just no, 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 no. Some of the things start happening young, and you can change it around. So these are
Well,
not death
yeah.
sentences. This doesn't have to be your end.
No.
We believe in speaking life over you. That's why we're telling you, hey, if you see something, say something. If you feel something, go get it checked. I
Right. You
mean,
might be having some type of minor symptoms and you don't think anything of it, but actually it could be a precursor to one of these diseases.
Thank you. And so you'll never know, and worrying about it or ignoring it won't help either, because you'll most likely leave your loved ones unprepared, either financially, emotionally, for your passing. So don't do it to them. Just go ahead and take
Mm-hmm.
care of yourself. And I know Monika said invest in yourself, and that's
Oh
true.
yeah, that's what I was going to get into. And aside from that, just
hmm
getting to the doctor and finding out what is going on or what you need to work on. In
hmm
in the midst of that, some lifestyle changes need to take place, like
I believe
pronto.
it. Yeah. And I
Your
believe in a
diet,
clinic. I do want to say
your
go to clinic.
diet, less alcohol, sugar, whole foods. I mean, there needs to be a balance, but you need to exercise every day or go for a walk every day. There's DJ Kun Love in Seattle. He reversed his health by walking every day for a year. He still walks every day, and he lost a lot of weight, and he reversed the diabetes and some other stuff.
hmm
So
Oh, I
they
like
also
that.
need to get into their mental health. If it's counseling, meditation, prayer, something
hmm
where you take time out for yourself. Men are always, working, or some of them always feel like they got to do something with their hands, or they're out there, getting the job done. But y'all need to take 5 minutes for yourselves too, to do some breathing exercises, some stretches, some something, you know.
Very true. Very true. I said go old school at summertime. Hit up that basketball court. You know, though Othello Park still got a court. I'm sure there's a couple of down in T Town too.
Well,
You
girl,
know.
before they do that, they need to stretch because they gonna mess something up. They try to play out there with them kids.
Well, stretching is good. We already said you should be doing that in the morning. But the point I was going to also make is there's clinics. I mean, I do understand that everyone's finances is not what people know or think. You know, and sometimes if you're in Washington State, though, you do have great resources and access to health through the state. We are not one of those places, but if you're in the South, where they're not necessarily in some southern states looking out for their citizens the same way they do in a place
Hmm.
like Washington, you can go to a clinic. Go to your local clinics. That is what they're there to serve underserved people. So go there to just have your basic screenings. If you're just checking your sugar, your blood pressure, your STD status, those are great jumping points. We don't want to knock you
And
doing
there's
anything, but
right.
do something.
And there's private doctors who actually charge on a sliding scale. I'll put the link in there. There's actually a sister, the doctor in Seattle, and she caters, makes like packages per her patient. So
Hmm.
she works with you. She was like, no, everyone should have access. So
Yeah, and I believe it. And there's also this thing that I thought was very interesting that I've had to find out through, what we've been going through with our healthcare and health situation is that there are also mobile doctors. I think people think that this is only a VIP service for the wealthy and well connected, but actually you'd be surprised. Some of the mobile doctors have really reasonable packages. I've heard of them being as low as maybe $200 a month for um, consistent access where they come to you. Maybe you don't want to go to a waiting room. Maybe you don't want to be bothered with a bunch of people, but they can come out, get your labs, hear what your concerns are, and actually do, um, health screenings and health care at your residence.
mhm.
So, or you can do whatever you want to do, but just, there are definitely options out there for you. So, uh,
Right. And there's also one other thing. There's also this website called Jason's Health. It is reputable. You can use it to actually get blood work done for a reasonable fee. And so they
mhm.
just you send the orders, you get the orders, you go to like a lab in your area and get it done.
So you'll know knowledge is always power, especially health knowledge. So, kind of with that in mind, Monika, what is the business of the week?
And so, of course, we're going to stay on that health kick. And so it is holisticallymade.com. And this is a business, a health and wellness business based in Florida. The owner, founder, Tina Wheeler, I met a few years back, and she provides herbal tea blends, supplements, tinctures, sea moss products, anti-inflammatory for weight loss, diabetes, PCOS, iron, anemia, detox, flush, and many other things. They also have like consultations too. So there'll be a link on the show notes for holisticallymade.com.
I like that. That's wonderful. So yeah, lots of good stuff. So everyone can use holisticallymade.com. So that just doesn't have to be for the fellas in this one. So kind of keeping that in mind, I do want to just shout out the fact that we couldn't stay away from you guys for a whole week, and that's really why we're here. This is definitely a shorter episode. But next week, we are coming back with the hot fire. It'll be the last week in June. There'll be a lot of celebrations going on, and it is Black Music Month. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to talk about music. We have to get into it. So definitely check our social media on Instagram and see all of the updates and polls and surveys and things that we will be doing in preparation for next week's music appreciation episode because I mean, it's summertime, so there's always a music conversation to be had. So,
Well,
and that's
yeah,
Auntie
music is
season.
life for me. So,
Yeah, yeah. Hey, it improves the spirit. That's how I feel about it as well. I think there is a love and a universal language to music. So definitely a lot of appreciation and a lot of great artists and a lot of great things to discuss next week. And so our Instagram is Auntie Season, one word, and then add a SCN to the end of that. So you can find us very easily. Like I said, every day, Monika has something interesting there. Sometimes I put
Well,
something
not every day,
interesting.
girl.
Well,
It be there, but not
uh,
every day.
well, and on those days when she doesn't put something, if it's really random, like the alien clip, that was me. That was Milah. I couldn't believe after the audio that we had from last week, which was legitimate audio. Of course, everyone and their mama starts chat GPTing and CGIing and creating that video that I posted
Well, you
on
know what?
Instagram.
People could chat GPT like a health and wellness list for them, goals. That you can do that with chat GPT too.
They could, but they decided to do the aliens, which were hilarious, and we definitely appreciate all the views. And that was crazy. To me, though, the concern is it's going to make people not believe what they see because now so many things can be edited, fixed. What is real, what is fake. But that is a legitimate story that we brought to you last week in case you were still wondering about it. And right now the family has kind of gone underground a little bit because they are getting so much negative attention and backlash. And really, they didn't leak the story. They just called the police and asked for help and reported something strange that they witnessed. So got to take care of each other. Now,
Well, I'm
Monique.
pretty sure the aliens are taking care of their health too. So moving along.
Well, I was going to say, is there anything else that we're forgetting, Monika?
No, that's everything. I did from the songs of Black folks, the it was Pastor Braxton. He did say what you see until you see what you say. So on that note,
Mm,
be kind.
I love that. And stay safe. We will get with you soon.
Peace.
Monika, where can they find us again?
They can find us on Anchor, Spotify, and now iTunes.
Mm,
And please like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment. You can shoot us an email or a voice message if you'd like.
mm-hmm.
And with all that, love and gratitude.
Remember to call your aunties or your girlfriends and say hi. Bye.